G.D. Vegas Fulcher, welcome back to another episode of Craic on the Coast. On location, and what it seems like is my usual compatriot when it comes to on location. I'm joined by today's co-host, Greg Shanahan. How's it going, Greg?
It's going well, Michael. Thanks for having me as usual. And I'll also say, as usual, taking the Craic on the Coast show on the road is very successful. Another awesome venue down here at the Auld Triangle and Hyannis, and just wrapped up an amazing session and immediately turned on the Ireland-New Zealand rugby match. So I'm looking forward to a great podcast and a great night all around.
Great. And as Greg said, we're here on location down in Hyannis at the Auld Triangle, which has been around for a few years now, but definitely gaining traction. And it's a full house here today on a Saturday afternoon. Like Greg said, they had a session earlier today that they have every Saturday. And we have the game on, and then later on tonight there'll be some more Irish music, which they do have usually on Saturday nights. So this should be a good show. I'm excited. We're going to have Desmond Keough on, the owner of the establishment. He's going to talk to us, and we're going to kind of get his input on what it took to get that Perfect Pint certification that Mike Reardon's always talking about.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about that. I always enjoy speaking to Mike Reardon about these kind of stuff, but hearing about what actually goes into it's going to be interesting as well. And Mike, I'm a pretty selfless guy, as you know, so I'm willing to do some testing of the Guinness product as well.
Rumor has it we might actually get to pull one ourselves, so if we do, be on the lookout on our social media because it'll be out on there.
I have to warn you, I've tried it in the past and I've been a miserable failure at it, so I'm hoping I don't embarrass the show.
Oh, there'll be no way. But yeah, so it should be a good show. We'll see who else we get on. There'll be other entertainment here tonight. We might be able to get them on before they go and take the stage. So we'll see, and we'll go from there. How's that sound, Greg?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Here we are at the Auld Triangle down in Hyannis, Mass. And on this segment, one of the things we wanted to bring up, as I'm sitting here with today's co-host, Greg Shanahan, who is the current president of the South Shore Irish Heritage Trail, is for us to talk about how naturally that trail could continue all the way down to the Cape Cod. Isn't that correct, Greg?
I've been thinking about it a lot, and we've been talking to the folks with the Boston Irish Heritage Trail, Michael Quinlan, and our own committee and our board down here in Citro, Massachusetts. And the Cape or Barnstable County, I think, would be a natural extension of the trail. I mean, a lot of people don't think of it as being one of the most Irish parts of the state. I mean, Massachusetts.
Oh,
this
is about on location.
The boys in green just scored again against New Zealand.
They did.
But people think about Plymouth County, which is the second highest population of Irish descendants in the country, is in Plymouth County, Massachusetts. But Barnstable County is number 4 in the country, which is amazing to me.
Yeah, that's a statistic I didn't realize.
I didn't either. But you know what it is? They benefited from the same sort of population shift, during the Angkor Timor, what some people call the famine, which I refuse to call it, as you know. But it's, the Norfolk County has the same demographics too. So I'm really excited about the opportunity to learn more about Irish America here in Barnstable County, and I think that this was definitely a great impetus being down here today, and looking forward to talking a little bit about with the owner a little bit about what the folks down here enjoy music-wise and heritage and cultural-wise. They have the big parade every year.
Yeah,
and
parade runs the first Saturday of March every year.
Incredibly successful, and I guess now we know why. It's not just a tourist thing, it's a year-round population thing. So,
there you go.
Up Barnstable County.
Right. I mean, we're sitting here today, and it's Saturday afternoon in October, well past the summer season, which would be known as a high population time for Cape Cod. and this is a full house.
Yeah, incredible room this evening. I mean, great crowd, really excited about the rugby. It switched straight over from the session to the rugby match, and we're gonna switch over to some more live music. But you know, the Craic is mighty, as they say, and just the environment here is great. Though, if you ever get the chance to come down to the Auld Triangle here in Hyannis, I would highly recommend it. Well, we ate earlier, and the food was fantastic, but the environment's great too. Just driving down the main drag, the outside was very welcoming, and I'm definitely excited to be here. And I think that this is going to might be a new haunt.
There you go.
Certainly not in the summertime, but in the outside summer hours.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, off season is when we would come down here.
I have to say too, this is the largest television screen I've seen really in any pub establishment south of Boston. So I'm going to enjoy that as well. I wish there was some soccer on, but we'll suffer through the rugby.
And when we have Des on a little bit later, you know, the story of if you come in here, the walls are just adorned with photos and artifacts and pictures. It just has that feel right when you walk in the door. That it has a pub feel. It
definitely certainly does. Like Mike said, from the decorations to the beautiful woodworking. The bar is incredible. There's seating around the outside of it with it's almost stadium seating in the middle for the match, but the bar itself looks amazing, and I'm looking forward to getting behind it later on tonight.
There you go. Well, I'm glad we talked about how it's not the Irish down the Cape is not just a flag to be flown during the summer months.
No, it's definitely it's a year-round population, which is good to know. Maybe it's one of the reasons I've always felt so comfortable down here. But you know, again, not far at all from our stomping grounds up in Plymouth in Norfolk County. It took me about an hour to get here in the afternoon. Plenty of parking right across the street in the municipal lot, which is behind Town Hall. So if you do ever have a minute, get down here and check it out. You won't be disappointed.
No, not at all. Here we are, Craic on the Coast, on location at the Auld Triangle here in Hyannis, Mass. And we're very privileged and glad to be here. And we're very privileged to have on the owner of the establishment, Mr. Desmond Keough. How's it going, Des?
Good, Michael. Thank you. Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming in.
This is great. Our on-location stuff that we've done has been highly enjoyable. Good crack, as they would say.
Yes, yeah.
And we would love to hear the origin story of how you ended up down here in Hyannis on the Cape. And
I lived on the Cape. Terry and I moved down to the Cape about 20 years ago. And Terry worked in the medical field. I worked in law enforcement and eventually. We saw an opportunity for an Irish pub that was lacking on the Mid-Cape, that it was basically ourselves where we're thinking we go out somewhere, where are we going to go? And Terry still to this day says he didn't have to open a pub, he could have just found somewhere. But anyway, that's how it started. The name itself, the Auld Triangle, comes from the play that Brendan Behan wrote, where he heard the triangle being played at night in the jail cell. His brother, another person, wrote the song, the Auld Triangle. And the Auld Triangle, that's where the origin of the name comes from. And Brendan Behan was my grandmother's first cousin, so I done it in honour of them.
So there's a familial relation.
Yeah, we have his portrait over there in the corner. People think he looks like Jim Belushi. When you see him, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody says, that Jim Belushi? No, it's Brendan Behan.
So what's your story? How'd you end up over in the States?
Emigrated back in the 80s when everybody 20 to 25 years of age was emigrating into thousands and thousands. Yeah. And thousands are still here to this very day. So came here for opportunity, like everybody, like your ancestors. You go, work hard, and there's opportunity. Give opportunity in this country.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
right.
Yeah.
So, what year did?
1985.
So you immigrated? Did you come into Boston? Or?
No, we were north of Boston, and then we moved to the Cape in about 21 years ago. We moved to the Cape. We
really?
North of Boston. Yeah.
That's
time goes quick.
Oh yeah, but that's also before you know, there was a huge trend for people to start moving here full year round.
Onto the Cape?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then once COVID came, when COVID hit, people would come to their summer homes, they end up staying.
Yeah.
And people started working from home. They're still working from home. So a lot of the place now, that's why you see so much traffic year round. People are still living here year round, not going home for the off season, you know.
That's great. Yeah. So we kind of talked a little bit when we first got here and you were walking me around, but the feel, you've captured the feel,
yep.
which is a huge hurdle, I would say, in a lot of places that open up.
Yep.
Is whether or not it's manufactured or if it's genuine, and this feels genuine.
It's something that we were striving for, but there was no formula, and we knew after about a year and a half we got that feeling, and we got the feedback from people. But it's not a formula. It's just either it happens or it doesn't happen.
Right.
But you have to stay focused. You can't, as I say, try to be everything to everybody. And even in the depth of the first year and a half, when we were like, how are we going to survive? How are we going to get through this? We still stayed focused on what the goal was, a community pub for the locals, open year round. And we stuck at that, and now it's starting to turn the corner where you can see today it has turned the corner. When people come in, it's a good vibe, it's a friendly place, we've got great staff, and we got great customers that come in, repeat customers too, so.
That's right.
Incredible.
It was hard work, trust me.
It's an incredibly welcoming environment too, right when you, from the sidewalk all the way in.
Yeah.
Just, you know, I loved it from the very second I walked in the door, and then, you know, you had the session going on, and then we switched over to the rugby, and Liverpool playing in the background, just amazing. And then David came in, so I'm looking forward to the music later, but what an incredible environment. I mean, just the decorations around the outside. I mean, what do you think of, what would you say is your favorite one?
Oh my God, there's so many of them. There's a history of the decorations too. And
I still haven't been to the other side of the bar, by the way.
I mean, you got to see the back too. I actually have the Kennedy corner over there too. There's a story behind that too. But when we first opened, we had a lot of people have helped us. One of the person in particular was Brendan and Claire O'Connor, who owned O'Connor's pub in Worcester. When we were here in the middle of the winter 2 years ago, there was a couple having dinner at the bar. The place was empty. They had dinner, a couple of drinks. They came up and introduced themselves. Hi, my name is Brendan. This is my wife, Claire. We have a mutual friend. Here to help you. I heard you open an Irish pub. Our walls were empty. It's hard to get stuff like this.
Sure.
So he said, I'll be in touch. Took a ton of photographs, inside and outside. A week later, I got a phone call. He at the pub, shows up with a pickup truck full of all this stuff. He designed the whole thing. Brendan and I spent 4 months hanging everything there. Without Brendan O'Connor, it wouldn't be where we are right now with how it looks in here.
Wow.
It was just invaluable. The advice and everything that he done to help us get to this stage, it's hats off to him.
I mean, it has a real Boston pub vibe, too. It was one of the things I noticed. We all know I'm a fan of a pub. and it had that same vibe coming in. I loved it from the second we walked in. Seeing my brother Hibernians sitting down for a pint is something that he made it even more special. So thanks
it's
again.
It's the headquarters of the Cape Cod St. Patrick's Parade too.
Oh, we're going to bring that up. Yeah, headquarters, and that's a great parade. I mean, that's something I will always say. We've marched in it now several times, and it's a very organized day of chaos, I guess is the best way of putting it.
You're looking at a year's worth of work that looks like it just started. We take a week off, then we start working on the following year.
Yeah. But it's been great.
Yeah.
And speaking of the decorations, you were sitting here, and one thing that my son and I noticed was the Brendan Behan quote, and now that makes sense.
One of our friends, Maria, her son's a great musician. He plays in the Strawberry Hill Band. His mother, Kieran's mother, she made all those signs.
Oh, wow.
When we first opened, she made all those signs.
That's great.
So everybody's helped out so much. That's how it's a community.
Sure.
And we've raised, we do a lot of community events here, and a little over 2 years, over $200,000 in local charity events.
Wow.
We do them every couple of months. We have a charity event.
That's amazing.
And that's a plus. You saw today with the musicians, they collect every week for this next 2 months of Ties with Pots.
Yeah.
And the musicians themselves, they do that. They don't take tip money. Every tip they get goes towards the their actual charity of the month that they're doing.
That's
Now,
right.
were those all local musicians?
Yep.
'Cause
Really?
From the Cape. Some come down from Plymouth too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was. I mean, there was. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
a big
Yeah.
session, and
Yeah.
they really played well together. You could tell that
Yeah.
they were comfortable with one another and
Right.
familiar too. But I thought that you could hear it from the sidewalk.
Yeah.
It was
You'll
great.
see it on some of the days, like where the stage is. There'll be 20 of them sitting there. You have to bring the chairs out. There'll be 20 of them playing.
Wow.
Again, because of the vibe.
Yeah.
Sound, they like it, it's welcoming. We've got, as I said, we've got a great staff. And everybody's made to feel welcome.
Sure.
And you just come in. People come in. Where can I sit? You can sit wherever you want.
Uh,
Oh, where are you going to go? Come on in.
I gotta say the food was great too.
it was.
Good to hear. I can't take credit for that. We got great chefs in the kitchen, and I can't take credit for that. If I was trying to cook you any day, wouldn't be good.
Great,
But
great,
they do a great job. They really do. You got a good.
Right.
great food and a great pine. I know we're gonna talk more about that.
I was just gonna put. That's what I was gonna transition
That was
to
my
next.
that was my segue. How was that?
Yeah. Good segue.
And actually, that's pretty good. Right now. I'm gonna actually have you pull a pint. You're gonna have to pull your own pint.
That'll be great.
Yeah,
That'll be an experience. Now that we're talking about pints, and you made the comment in the early on about hard work. We've had Mike Reardon, the Guinness ambassador,
he's
on.
great. Yeah.
He's great.
And
Yes.
Colleen's great.
To listen to him talk about Guinness
Yeah.
is fascinating.
Yeah.
There's such a science
Yeah.
behind it to
Yeah.
him, and he's talked to us about the benchmarks you have to hit to get that perfect pint certification. What Greg and I are interested in hearing is there's one thing to see the checklist, but then you got to hit the checklist.
And you have to hit it every day.
Right.
Yeah, you don't hit it for that one time where they're testing you all along, and then you get it on that day. And especially with Guinness, it has to be every single day. You check everything every single day.
And one thing and we talked about this earlier too, one thing that Mike stressed to us, and Greg and I have talked about this, is just all the facets. And it's not just about a clean line, it's about clean glassware and how you clean the glass. And it's just,
Yeah.
it sounds daunting.
When we first took over, one of the things was I knew I had to get a perfect pint. One of the main reasons I'd never hear the end of it if people came from Ireland, because I grew up exactly 1.8 miles from the entrance to the Guinness Brewery. I could smell the stuff as a kid going to school every day. So I said I had to get it right. So I reached out to Mike. I said, Mike, I know it's going to be a long process, but I need you to come on board, tell us what we need to do, guide us along. And he guided us. Took about a year and a half to get to the stage where we were ready to, okay, let's come in, do the testing, see if we're at that level yet. All the way down to we brought in different dishwashers, the lines are all redone, everything. You check the checklist is just huge, and it's every day. Like we check every day, temperatures, the whole thing, and in the pour itself, every staff member, right through the kitchen staff, are all trained to pull a proper pint of Guinness.
Really?
Just in case we all decide to have some ourselves, we need to.
Well, I was certainly really excited to try my very first Guinness.
I
ever.
got definitely. Both of you are going to have to pull a pint.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, you're going to pull.
Well, and it's funny. Our first discussion with Mike, the age-old question always comes up: is it different in Ireland than it is here? And Mike's argument is it is not.
No,
it is because they have such a stronghold over quality control
Yes.
there
Yeah.
compared to here.
So you've got the kegs in Ireland. They fill them up. They ship them out. Or they're going. The ones that come here, or they're going to anywhere else in Dublin. It's the same Guinness. It's where it ends up and how it's looked after. So in Ireland, particularly in Dublin, going into the bars there, the quality is there. So you're going to get a good pint. The difference here, the Guinness is coming in, but the quality's not there. So when you're in a bar that's not looking after it, it doesn't taste right, and you're blaming it on the Guinness. Well, it's not the Guinness. It's how it's looked after. It's how it's poured. That's the difference. It's the same Guinness. But they're right as far as you have a better chance of getting a good pint of Guinness in Dublin, or in Ireland for that matter, because of the quality control.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the difference right there. And again, you have to stay on top of every day. But right now, at this stage, people are coming in for it. We'll know right away. We'll check, but we've so many people that appreciate Guinness that come in. They'll let us know real fast too. Like in Ireland, they'll let you know pretty quick. You got a pint looks like a bishop's collar on the.
Oh, yeah.
You got to send that back.
Yeah. This is great. I'm so glad that we came down here. It's been a place that we, as for our division, we want to come down. We have several members that live on the Cape.
Yeah.
And all of them talk very highly about, the Auld Triangle. Yeah, I'm glad we came down. I'm
That's
glad we
great to
could
have
be
you down.
here.
You come down for the parade. You guys have always been fun. You're with us forever, for years and years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely, and this year, we'll be back down again this year, and we'll have to make a point of coming over here
Absolutely.
afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I would just urge anybody, any of our listeners, especially in Plymouth County. I mean, it's just not that far of a drive.
No, it is not. Like off season, you're here in a half hour tops. It's not that much different than driving outside of South Plymouth to any other location.
Get on down here. Have one of these perfect pints and just delicious food, and you can't beat the atmosphere too.
Yeah,
So check it out as soon as you can.
definitely. Well, I think we're gonna take Des up on his offer to pull our own pints.
We're going to go right now. You're going to pull a pint.
We're gonna go do that right now. But thank you for coming on, Des.
Thank you so much. Thank you
so much,
for coming
Des.
in. Thank you. It's great to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Welcome back here to Craic on the Coast, live down at the Auld Triangle in Hyannis, Mass. We've had a good show so far. We talked a little history on just the Irish down the Cape. Had a great conversation with Desmond Keough. Des is great and let us pour our own pints. You'll be able to see those photos on our Instagram after this episode goes up. And now we're met with the gentleman who will be providing the music for this evening. Local band, Mayo man also, Dave Try. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks a million for having me here today.
That's
Thanks for
great.
coming, Dave.
One thing I've told, and we already talked about this before we recorded, but the first time I saw you play was 15 years ago at the Bailey Pub in Marshfield.
Yeah,
And back then, your lovely wife was usually around
that's right.
to help a little bit. You guys played a mean version of Johnny Cash.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, I mean,
It's mostly her. I was just trying to keep up with it.
You've been around a while now.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
haven't got rid of me yet anyway, So keep
So,
going.
so what's the origin story? When'd you come over?
Oh God. Well, I came over first to America on the Donnelly visa. So I was
Okay.
only 6 years of age when we immigrated.
Oh wow.
So we won a lottery. And they do a Brian J. Donnelly night every year. The Irish Cultural Centre puts it on.
Yep.
So I love being involved with that because that's why I'm here. But I have a song that I wrote called Mid-Atlantic Man because it's about being culturally in between the two places.
That's a great song.
And I moved back for a while after college, and it's really the best of both worlds.
Sure.
So it's, when I go home, they call me a Yank. I'll say something like, it's wicked cold or it's Boston slang. And then over here, of course, it's, I'm Paddy here.
Right.
Great song, and isn't it made even more meaningful by hearing that? I mean, you never would have known the background.
Oh yeah.
People never ask, but I wanted to say as well, to say thank you very much for having me on the podcast, to Michael and Greg. And I know Sean isn't here today, but I listen in every week and I really enjoy what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks for promoting the culture and everything, and for being from the South Shore and everything as well,
Oh, we're trying.
Yeah.
So I guess the next question would be is, when did you first get into music?
So I play music my whole life. So growing up, my dad was a musician. He played the ballads and the songs, and he did a lot of Johnny Cash and the country and western. And there was always music in the house. We all had to play. My mother always sang in the house. And just immersed in it from the very beginning. There was no choice.
And we were talking earlier about how the history, especially our culture, the history, a lot of it was passed on through song.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
it's important.
It's, in my opinion, the best way to understand culture or history is through the music. They had, I think it was the mighty Frank Hart. He has that quote that a lot of people say recently, that history is written by the people in power. The songs are written by the people who suffer. And given our history, we have an awful lot of songs And I've had a lot of great chats with people about who we are. And you can, if you look at the music, it's all there.
Yeah.
Tunes. It's not only do you get a sense of the events that happened, but you get a feeling nearly like what it was like to be alive. Because music's a great communicator, you know,
Yeah, I
the
would
language and the spirit, like, and it's for me personally, I find it's the best way to understand or to try and understand what life was like and what the proper history is, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you're trained properly, as you shared with me before. You're a Berkeley graduate.
That's right, yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. I grew up playing the music, as I said, and then I fell in love with playing the trumpet, you know. So you try to rebel against your upbringing. And I said, if I'm going to do jazz, best place in the world is Berkeley College of Music.
Sure.
So I worked hard to get in there, and then when I arrived, I looked around and saw the Irish pubs, and I saw how there were maybe 3 jazz clubs at the time. And I'd be going out and seeing the lads singing, and I was like, oh, I think I could do that. I'd do it a little different.
That's great. It's important. It's great that it's as important as it is to you, because one of the highlights of doing this podcast so far, other than this conversation right now, was the opportunity to sit down with Derek Warfield and understand his passion for history, and that drives his art of just writing songs. And for him to be the age that he is and still is not stopping, like he's constantly writing. I mean, it's amazing how it could be that you could be that passionate about something.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's so many musicians out there that would feel similar. Like I loved that you had him on there. You were up in Worcester and he was chatting away about the history, because a lot of us feel that way, you know.
Yeah.
And it's a lifelong thing. Like at some age you get a bit old to be out playing rugby on the pitch. You can stay involved and you can do other things, but with music you're always learning.
Sure.
You're always going for it. And it's great to see the resurgence around the last few years. I mean, there's just great artists coming out with the tunes and the folk music, and the language is coming back, and people are so proud to be Irish, and I love to see that, like, you know. It's, I always call where we are on the South Shore the 33rd county, you know. It's like the Larry Bird of counties. You see them everywhere. Everyone's so proud.
Yeah.
And it's you know, it's such a small nation with such a big brand, as we always say. And it's, why is that? It's I think it's because people are sound and they're kind, and they're just welcoming people in. You know, you don't have to be Irish on St. Patrick's Day. We're all Irish. We're all in it. Like, you could be adopted in, or you could be 164th Irish, or you could be from the Gaeltacht. It's just, we're all putting on the green, and if you feel like you like the sound in the community, then you belong.
Now, obviously, you're up in the South Shore area. We're up in the South Shore area, but we're all the way down in Hyannis.
That's right.
So what draws you to come down here and play for Des?
Yeah, I love coming down here. He was on to me for a while to get me to come down, and I was saying, oh, it's a bit of a drive, you know. And then I came into the pub and I saw the place and I saw the history and the chats with him. Like, I'd be setting up and we'd have great conversations, you know, about his relations, about Brendan Behan and Dominic Behan and Padder Carney, and it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And you could spend the day looking at the stuff on his walls.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was amazing. He just gave us a tour after we interviewed him, and I was blown away because I hadn't seen half of it.
Right.
But how much of it would you say, in terms of performing, how much impact does the actual environment have on you? I mean,
Well, it definitely has a serious impact. Like, you could be put up in front of a television behind you, you know, and people looking over your shoulder when you're trying to sing the songs of your people, or you could be in here where there's no television behind you and you have a little stage, you know. So it's it does have an impact, especially if you're trying to do, you know, if you're in a boisterous atmosphere. It's not going to be a good idea to play some of the more slower songs, or you kind of have to read the crowd. But being in here is brilliant. Like, I look out across the place, or for tonight, for example, there's a set of uilleann pipes up on the wall behind my head, and today is International Uilleann Pipe Day. And they have, I just wanted to give a shout out to the Boston Uilleann Pipers Club. I wasn't able to make it in today. I'm a member, but they had a big meeting up there with Roseanne and Joey and all of them, and there's quite a few pipers around. So it's, you know, having something like that over your head, it's going to inspire you to give a proper performance. Like,
it has to be, but I was fascinated to hear that you were a trumpet player.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I think of you more of you know, a traditional music player. So how do you reconcile the difference between, you know, being a trumpet player, somebody who was educated in that, and then being someone, you know, who also is an uilleann pipe player? You know, how do you process that in terms of your performative process?
As you know, Greg, I love to blow my own horn. So that's a good question.
I'm not going to say I set you up for that, but I did.
Yeah, I think you did. Yeah, as I said, when I was small, I was trying to rebel against the music because we all had music, we all sang. You had to have something, and I picked the trumpet initially because it only had 3 little buttons on the top. I was like, how hard could it be?
Easy for him to say how hard can it.
But it turned out to be incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Because you had to do everything without your fingers. You had to do it all with your embouchure and your wind and everything, But I just love it. Like, to me, I play a lot of instruments, and it's just, that's what they are. They're an instrument to get what's inside you out, and you can just access the pitches different ways depending on what the instrument is, So, I don't know, it's just the sound you hear in your head as well. Like, even if I'm out singing, sometimes I'll do like a Chris Stapleton song or a non-Irish song, and I'm not going to sing that with the way I'm speaking now. It's just the vowels come into your mind, for me anyway, and I just want to replicate the sounds. I guess I'm not really playing notes as much as I play sounds, if that makes sense. And especially with the pipes, because it's an oral tradition.
Sure.
So the tunes are handed down through the generations, and I have the ability to read music, but I don't look up the tunes. I just want to learn them by ear and be part of the tradition and just carry it on,
What would you say? I mean, because you're such a young guy, but you've been in the country for so long and you've been involved in music, either formally or informally. What would you say are some of the biggest changes you've seen on the music scene, in particular to the Irish music?
Yeah, there's been loads of changes through the years. I mean, when I first came over, there was a thriving population of Irish people on those visas, in the Morrison visa, and the 90s were legendary here with the Irish community and diaspora. And then it kind of trickled out a bit with the older generation, But I feel like it's coming back stronger than ever over the years. Like I was saying, that just the explosions and the organisations, and with the Irish Cultural Centre, and we have, you're in the Irish Boston Network we were talking about, and you have so many opportunities to learn the language or to learn an instrument. There's Kyoto's in Boston. Mm-hmm. There's all these organisations that are still going and keeping the dance and the sport and the music, and there's history classes. You do your own meetings as well, and I know... Yeah. I'd love to make it to one of them sometime.
Well,
we'd love to have you.
It's funny you say that, because we had episodes ago, we had Declan Hooton on, and Declan was talking about just the quality of the musician that is coming out now with regards to like that next generation. He says it's so impressive.
They're wizards. Some of them are just brilliant on it. It's like, I go out and I'll see a 7-year-old lad playing the tin whistle better than I'll ever be able to play it. Like, it's humbling and it's amazing. Like, you can't help but be proud.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the music of our people, and it's going on, and it's just at such a level now that. And with that being said, you don't have to be a wizard on your instrument. You can learn your 3 chords and you can make a living singing the songs of our people. Like, it's whatever you're able to do. Give it a go, Or if you're learning the language and you get the words wrong, you have to try. Like, that's why I'm Dave Try. The most popular way to fail is not to try. You have to just go for it,
Yeah.
It's really important, because it's who we are, and I sing a lot of kinds of songs, and I love all kinds of music. But I get such a thrill from singing songs that have been around for so long, and it connects you with your ancestors. But it's happening in real time with the people and the community. And when we're all singing together on the songs, or someone sitting across from me playing tunes, you get a sense of who they are before we'd even have a chat. It's just it's always evolving. The tradition is carried on, but it's changing as well.
Well, and it feels like there is like a folk music revival going on. I mean, I was over in May, and I was introduced to Kingfisher.
Yes.
And now they're here, and you see them everywhere, and it definitely it's new, it's modern, but it has those same tones. And it's that same Irish folk musical tone to it, that even though they're doing their own take on it, it's still amazing that's mainstream.
Yeah, it's mainstream and it's relevant, and people are connected with it. Like, and they're using some traditional instruments on some of the tracks, and it's just, I think it's good music. Like, if you listen to good music, you're gonna enjoy it, hopefully,
right.
So it's great to see that. Like, and there's other young bands that are doing so well as well. Amble and Lancome have been around for a while as well. Dublin-based band. I don't know, it makes me think about like a song, we'll say The Wild Rover, or as they call it in Boston, no nay never. That song is 400 years old.
Right.
So it's been around since the 1600s, and it was a temperance song. It was a song about not drinking. So you can use this part for the lads that are editing if they don't like the drink. But we turned it into one of the biggest drinking songs of all time, and it makes me think about different versions through the centuries that we've lost. So Lancome do a version of that song, and I think it's 12 minutes long, and it's one of the darkest songs you could ever listen to. I think it's brilliant. It just builds and builds, and it's about the sadness of it and like the dark side. And it's the same song that we were all shouting and clapping for, and coming together on as well. And it's amazing. A song that's around 400 years has to be versatile.
That's fascinating.
I love it. Like, some lads on the Irish scene are like, oh, I don't want to play that song again, but I never feel that way. I'm like, it's just, what a song.
Sure.
These days, a song that comes out last week, it's gone next week.
No. Yeah.
Dave, one of the things that I've been noticing lately, and I really love it, is friends of mine who might be second, third generation Irish, whose children are now involved in, the Irish music, the traditional music, even the sports and whatnot. What kind of impact do you think young people have? I'm saying even young as young Jack here on the music scene. I mean, is it a different impact than someone like you would have had as a young person coming over here as a native of Ireland, or thinking about the Irish American young people in particular?
Yeah, I think the youth are vital to carrying it on. Like I was just talking there about songs and tunes being handed down. I love when I'm playing a gig and I see families come in and kids, and I'll sing "I'll Tell Me Ma" or something, and they go back to it. They're like, I heard that song when I was small, and now the next generation. I suppose in a way you don't want our tradition to die on your watch. If people are having these songs going and tunes going, we keep them going,
Right.
And they'll have their memories, and they'll be like, oh, my dad used to love this song, or I remember my granny singing this song, or and you have to keep it alive. And without the youth, I mean, I wouldn't have any of these songs if people didn't give them to me growing up. It's, and as you said there, whether you're from Ireland or whether you grow up over here, things are so globalized now. You can go online and learn tunes. You can learn from all different places, which has impacted the music. Like, years ago, things used to be so regional. So if you heard a flute player playing, you'd be like, oh, that's a Clare flute player. Or that's someone from Sligo or Donegal, or you'd be able to hear the difference. But nowadays, you don't know where people are getting the tunes from. I mean, there's still some of those authentic tunes from a certain place, but it's it doesn't matter. Like, there's an Uillinn Pipers Club in Cuba now, so like those lads are growing up playing Irish tunes on the Uillinn Pipes. It's unbelievable, and the more the merrier.
Yeah.
We want them all in our team.
Well, it's funny. They always say, like, the Irish went to the four corners of the earth, and it really, that's a true statement.
Yeah.
I mean, we're everywhere. So.
Yeah. Who was it? There's Tommy Tiernan, the comedian, years ago. He used to say that we never invaded countries. We would infest. You'd arrive with a sleeping bag and a phone number, and then all of a sudden the place is filled with Irish people.
It is funny how that works. I just tried to buy a Sarsfield GAA shirt online the other day, and I was trying to buy as cheap a one as I could, and it turned out it was the Hong Kong Sarsfield GAA. Wasn't even the same color shirt, but it is amazing how the worldwide impact is.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, and the GAA clubs all over the world, and the Irish dance, and it's unbelievable when you think about being part of the culture.
Yeah. And you're talking about a country that is smaller than New England, and the impact it's had all over the world. It really is, it's unbelievable when you think about the scope of it.
We always punch well above our weight. You know? It's like how many people get to arrive into the White House to have a one-on-one meeting year after year, no matter who's in office. And what kind of clout do we have, really, if you think about it? It's that type of rant with the culture, and just, as I said earlier, being sound and being kind and maybe a bit wise as well.
So we were talking about before how busy and how crazy everything is. Forget about March and September, just all year round. You, my friend, have a pretty standard schedule that you are everywhere all week long.
I'm very lucky. Like I said, the community is thriving. I'm in the Dubliner every Wednesday with Declan Crowley doing the dancing along with Eve Sheridan or Grace Musari or some other world-class dancer. It's unbelievable. It's the only place you can see step dancing and live Irish music in Boston that I know of.
No.
Or I've been at the Black Rose as well. And there's so many places and they're packed out all the time. You know, or we were chatting about the Red Rose. Be over there. I was in there last Sunday or the Sunday before, and they had the road bowling lads in and men and women that were doing the bowling. And I was talking to people from Toronto and West Virginia, and half the pub was Cork, but they'd be Cork anyway. You know, it's Cork Bar. But it's crazy. There's always something happening. Like even today, the pipe meeting, there was the session, there was the rugby match on, people meeting up. Tonight there's a big birthday party over the road in the Irish Village. There's too many things to do. And I just feel grateful for the community and the space and to be involved. Like I'm very lucky to be booked in the places I'm booked, and more power to it.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, we're grateful that you could take the time to come on and talk with us. This is great.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And as I said,
We're grateful for you too for what you do to preserve, you know, the musical culture that's just so important here. And you know, it's all. When you talk about as much as going on, Mike and I talk about it all the time. When you talk about how much is going on, it's folks like you who are really continuing it out and introducing new people to, you know, our culture that is just so important. Like, we can't thank you enough.
yeah, absolutely. Maybe we'll all sing a song together sometime. You know.
Well, at the Red Rose.
Yeah, you don't have to be the best at singing to be involved.
You
singing
might not.
the songs of your people. It's all right. It doesn't have to be great. Like.
You might lose out on gigs if you ever sing a song with us.
Or learn the language, or play a sport, or just to try something.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
just-
so
and see what it
important.
feels like to be doing something that's been done for a long time. It's a different type of thing. I just encourage it and try and discourage gatekeeping. There are some people that try to exclude people from trying. They're like, oh, you can't do it. Like, it's not proper. You know, none of that. Like, come on, give it a go. You know, it's I don't have much Irish, but I still try. You know,
Sure.
you just.
I was just going to say that happens a lot in the Irish language community.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it used to, but not as much anymore. I feel people are more welcoming now, and and they're delighted if you have the few words, and then you just see it going, especially with the new generation. I mean, it's coming back so strong, and some of us lads that might be, you know, a bit older and didn't get it and never learned it properly in school, you nearly feel left out of it, but you shouldn't. You can always learn. It's never too late to start learning a few words and using what you have.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because last episode we had Sheila Fitzgerald on, the Consul General, and she made a comment, and if someone who I hear her speak the language all the time, but she even made the comment that she was going to make it a goal for her over the winter months to kind of work on her Irish and get it better.
Fair play.
And I think that's a great goal,
Yeah,
you know, for anyone.
it's mighty.
Yeah.
It's incredibly intimidating to hear that she thinks her Irish needs to be better because
I find it more inspirational. Sure, I might end up in a class there and I'd be sitting there and, you know, I might not know anything, but you have to start somewhere. When I started the pipes, I've only been playing pipes for 7 years, and I'm used to being like a decent musician, you know? Like I can hang, I can play, and I go in there and I would consistently be the worst one in the circle. It's so humbling. I'd be trying to play the notes and they wouldn't come out, and I just struggle. And a lot of them didn't know that I'm a professional musician, and I'm glad they didn't, or I'd be ruined. but sometimes it's the best thing to be the worst one, because you learn so much. And as far as singing goes, they have the quote, like, the woods would be a very quiet place if only the birds with the best voices sang. You know, and I think there's a song, with so many songs in our history, there's a song for every voice.
So you're saying I should be singing more?
We're going to be singing. Maybe I won't have you up tonight, but we could sing a few songs, learn a song.
Michael has heard me try it. It never ends well.
Well, thank you, Dave. You know what? We did this with when we had Declan Hooton on.
Declan's a legend. I love Declan.
Yeah, he forwarded us a digital file of one of his songs that we played at the end of the episode.
Brilliant.
If you think you could do that, which one would you send over?
I would probably send over the one I put out most recently, a song called I Must Away Now. So
Okay.
it's a song that I wrote about the people before me. Like, they never got famous, but they gave me a lot of the songs and the tunes. And it's they kept the tradition alive. And that's why I'm able to sing the songs I sing. So I just wanted to add my voice to the chorus and give a nod to them, what my song I Must Away Now.
I love that.
And on the surface, you might think, oh, it's a tribute to Luke Kelly, because he had the song, the night visiting song, and that's the first line. And it is in a way, because he was one of the best Irish singers, if not the best of all time. And he kept the stuff going in his own way, you know. So it's I think we can relate to that. Like, there's something about the music that makes you maybe think of the people before you, but then just to also think of the people in present day. It's a living thing. You
That's
know?
great.
So I'll send that song over to you.
Yeah, I love that. I think our listeners would love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks so much, Dave.
Yeah, thanks a million,
Thanks
Michael.
so much.
Thanks,
Huh?
Mike.
We're looking forward to hearing
Fantastic.
you play too.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
I'm sticking around. So,
You better warm up the vocals there, Greg.
You're gonna call me up, or
I know I won't.
can you wait till the AOH guys lead us to do that?
but thank you, Dave, and we'll stick around for the rest of the night.
Absolutely. Thanks a
Thank
million.
you.
Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
Dave.
You're welcome.
Well, Greg, I would say I really don't think we've had a bad on location. This has just been as good as everything else has been.
No, the on-location stuff has been great. I can't thank you enough for including me, and you know, the all the guests, the ambiance here at Auld Triangle, unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone that I would say is on the South Shore, once you get past the silly season of summer, like Des said, this place is open 7 days a week.
Yep.
They have music on a good lot of them. They have a session every Saturday. It's not that bad of a drive when
No.
you're outside the summer season.
Easily worth it. You can hear Dave tuning up on the
Yep.
tin whistle in the background, and
Yep.
it's only going to get better. I'm looking forward to hanging around as well. I thought that interview was unbelievable, and I could have talked to Dave all night, just like we could have talked to Derek Warfield all day a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's only getting better. So
Like you said, it must be a musician thing because his perspective and the pride he has that what he's doing isn't just fun or isn't just a job. It's passing tradition and passing heritage along to the next generation.
I couldn't agree more, and I have to say I didn't think I was going to get caught unaware like we did with David Warfield. I didn't think it was going to be as emotional, but it was every bit as much with Dave, and you know, talking about the cultural impact and the historical impact, his own story, and you know, just what's going on here now in Irish America is amazing with the music and the culture, and you know, we beat it to death, you and I, but it's just so much going on, and I can't urge our listeners more to get out and take advantage of it, because what's going on in pubs and bars all over Massachusetts right now, all over New England right now. Great music, great conversation. Just you know, Des was hitting on it earlier about, you know, just providing a venue is just so special. So get out there, and if you can get down to the Auld Triangle, do it too. This might turn into one of my new favorite places. And
there you go.
Don't tell Ruthie where I am on Sundays.
So
I might not be happy to hear him about an hour away from Weymouth.
So I just want to say to everybody, thank you for listening in. One other bit of news that I think will be important going forward is that because of opportunities and growth of the show, we are going independent instead of doing recording and engineering with the local scene and Plymouth Public Broadcasting. I am so grateful to what Tiff Phillips and Chris Quinn have been to us over there as we've started this journey. It's amazing to me that we're not only on this journey, but the reception that we have received and the people we have gotten the opportunity to speak with and the situations we've been able to put ourselves in, and the idea that we're going to grow beyond that to be an independent show is great. what will come with that is that we will be changing our feed, so people will have to resubscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. We will be sharing that information out there as we do after every show release. But I do want to make that announcement and make sure everybody's aware of that. So if our next episode comes out and you do not see it come through, that is why. So you just have to research us and subscribe, and you'll be on the feed again, and you'll be able to listen to everything that we're providing just as we are today.
Yeah, and if I could real quick, Michael, hats off to you. I mean, this podcast has come so far, so fast, and it's just such a service to the Irish and Irish American community. Not only here on the South Shore, but if you think about it, with these remote podcasts, you're really taking it statewide.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for what you've done, to bring this platform out, because it's been amazing.
Well, and we were in New Jersey 2 weeks ago for a national AOH event, and I guess what has never really hit me is that we're providing content and talking with people, especially the international guests that we've had, that goes beyond just the New England area. And I think I've had several people come up and say what we're doing and what we're providing with regards to giving people knowledge of things that are going on, missions that people have, and how they're keeping the culture alive and history alive, whether it's here or back over in Ireland. And I think that is attractive to a broad base of people.
Oh, there's no doubt. And what's really interesting for me, and what really makes me feel good about what you're doing and what we've been able to do with this podcast, is there's almost an endless amount of subjects we could talk about.
Yeah.
It's not like we're running low on show ideas and things like that, because there's just so much going on. So
yeah.
Stay tuned. Make sure you resubscribe in the right way, so you're not missing any of this content.
Definitely. And just like Greg was saying, we do have a litany of content that we're planning and we're producing to bring to you. But if you want to reach out, give us an idea. That's happened once or twice, and I've gotten some great leads on future guests that we're going to have. You can reach out to us at craiconthecoast@gmail.com. That's CRAIC onthecoast@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the new feed, leave a review, share it with friends. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this journey keeps us going.
Most definitely, and thanks again for having me.
No, you're welcome, Greg. It's always good to have you on. Like I said, right now you're the go-to on-location host.
I was just going to say, I like being the remote guest host. I think it might be a nice niche for me, but no, thanks again, Mike, for everything you've done, and all your work as president of the AOH. I mean, onward and upward. I'm looking forward to seeing what we do in 2026.
Yeah, same here. So again, thank you for everybody for listening. Stay tuned for more content, and goodbye from the Auld Triangle. Sláinte.
Sláinte.
I must away now, you said, and you sang out your heart. We'll not see the likes of you around here again, so we won't. Music was all that you had, but boy did you have it all. Nights and days, mornings playing on your own, and it leads me back home. I'm out of my own, and all of this time, your voice in my mind, and all of you gone away so long. I'm keeping you with me here in went to your graveside, and the birds, they were singing so strong. Tunes handed down, generational songs in the breeze. And if you could see me now, well, I hope that you'd be proud. Just to sing out my heart to the chorus of our people's song. And it leads me back home when I'm out on my own. And all of this time, your voice in my mind. And although you got away so long, I'm keeping you with me here in the sun. I must away now, you said, but I'll keep your song singing.